Hi, my name is Emmeline Kemp. I am a Pilates and bar instructor. I teach from home, I teach online. I have a very busy life now, even more so, and everything is going splendidly, and that is thanks to a lovely chap called Stephen Jakes. He was introduced to me by a friend when I was first diagnosed with fibroids and polycystic ovaries. I'd been struggling through teaching my classes with inflammation and bloating, unbelievable pain with every period, every month, heavy bleeding through anything and everything, and not being able to do anything but lay down for a few days every month. I was in so much pain. I'd been offered all manner of pills, ablation, horrendous, and at the end of everything, if nothing else worked, then a full hysterectomy. And I was not up for any of those, and I've been learning about how there is a mind-body connection. So I work with the body. People often come to me with emotional struggles as well as their physical, and I'd already been noticing how they come hand in hand, and I was interested in how that worked and could work for me. So when my friend Kelly, who is also trained in Pilates, recommended me to go see Stephen upon my first diagnosis, I didn't question it, I just went along. He sent me a video which tells you about how the mind works. I watched that twice as instructed before going along to the first session. He then answered any questions I had and cracked on with the therapy, which is not a long and drawn out talking therapy. You don't need to go into the ins and outs of everything that's happened to you in your life. He very quickly, and it seems easily for him, gets to the what I would call the pain point, or the trauma, or the point at which you started thinking a certain way, acting and behaving from that point onwards, which affects the rest of your life. So for myself, with the fibroids and polycystic ovaries, I had suffered profound losses throughout my life up to this point. I'm 41 now, and that led to this situation with my body reacting to what was going on in my mind. And it's taken some time to some sessions to get to the bottom of all of those profound losses. And I'm really pleased to say that fibroids gone, polycystic ovary gone, and every month my period just comes and I'm just, oh, it's here. No pain, no discomfort. It's absolutely amazing and perfect for my work, because now I can teach more with less restrictions. I had to cancel classes when I was really poorly before. There are also other things that he dealt with as we worked on this. I didn't realise, and I think a lot of people had anxiety around their health and well-being, bearing in mind that it was 3 years ago with the pandemic. So I and many other people, we were fearing for our lives. So I'd seen Steve for a couple of months, made me feel really, really so much better. There were already improvements. I said, I'm going to be a bit busy over Christmas. I'll see you in the new year. And I hadn't booked in to see him yet. And I think it was the March where I went to A&E with chest pains and shooting pains down my arm. I was really scared. And so I went to A&E and they said it was inflammation, pleurisy, and just sent me packing with ibuprofen. And I was wheezing away and not well at all. And this was my fear for what was going on in the world with the war with Russia and Ukraine. I've been watching the news and getting very concerned about what might happen. And voila, I had a fear of death, and that caused my body to respond in this way. So he reminded me of how that mind-body connection works. Went back through all of these concerns that I had, all these thoughts and fears and worries, and I went away feeling loads better, but also realising that I did still have some underlying anxiety, PTSD from a car accident over 10 years ago, which is why I work in Pilates now, because I use Pilates for my rehab successfully. And the other offshoot of working with Stephen was that I was a much calmer, more centered mother for my children, who were bouncing off each other as siblings do, sibling rivalry, energies going up and up and up. And if you're not in a good place yourself as a parent, then you too can end up spiraling upwards and not being the best parent that you can, because we need to be that centered, calm in the eye of the storm. That is the emotional whirlwind that your children are going through as they learn and develop. Mine are 9 and 6 years old now, so we've got kind of a pre-major situation with the older one. So thankfully I'm feeling a lot more centered and able to be that calm and kind and mindful presence that they need in their lives, when they have to deal with whatever comes up at school and whoever else they need to deal with. It's really important, and it's been a massive game changer for me, because then I'm not left with the guilt of having, raised my voice or got cross with them, where, we need to put boundaries in place, but we need to also be mindful that children are little emotional sponges, and they need us to show and demonstrate how to regulate our emotions. So we're allowed to have emotions as parents, we're allowed to feel frustrated or get cross at another driver who nearly hit our car. But then equally, they need to be able to see us take ourselves back down to a regulated, centered place. And if you have things running in the back of your head, it's always going to be a struggle to find that. So I've learned ever such a lot. I don't see him regularly now, but I know, because he's done so much, that he's there. So as a mentor, as someone who I can go see if something happens in my life, if something were to happen, I know who to go see to undo any trauma or fear responses or whatever to, life happens, right? So I thoroughly recommend you go see him for whatever you're dealing with. I often recommend him to my Pilates clients who are feeling unexplained physical symptoms and they've been disregarded by their doctors. So I'll always encourage people to go get a diagnosis. However, often they're just fobbed off. So I tell them to go see him, because he might be able to give some insight in that mind-body connection. Why do you keep feeling this tension up here? Is it because you, not just because you are working at a computer all day, is there something internally that's going on that's causing this situation? It's very common, in fact. I can help with the physical strength and mobility and body awareness, but there's limits, right? So I hope this helps. If you've got this far, I have gone on for a little bit. But yeah, if in doubt, just give him a phone call and I'm sure he'd be happy to help. All right. Thank you so much, Stephen.